gave him just a cup of water, he always remembers. He says, when I was thirsty, you gave me a cup of water. But when he does lots of things for other people, he never remembers. Or if he remembers, he always thinks these were not significant. That was my duty. That was my responsibility. Quite opposite to some people, that even if they give you, 1,000 tuman, after 10 years, they remember. They never forget. And if you do everything for them, they quickly forget. So mu'min who has intellect, and interestingly these are the signs of aqil, is the one who underestimates his own good actions that has done for others and always appreciates what others have done for him. وَيَرَى النَّاسِ كُلَّهُمْ خَيْرًا مِنْهُ وَأَنَّهُ شَرُّهُمْ فِي نَفْسِهِ. This is very important. When he looks at people, of course when we say nas, we don't talk about the wicked people, the mischief makers. Nas means the public. You may say, what about, for example, Hitler? What about Yazid? I should think Yazid is better than me. No, we are not talking about that type of people. Although it's possible that one day we may become worse than Yazid, but I'm saying, okay, forget Yazid. About normal people, people that you meet on the street, people you meet in, for example, a journey. When you go to Hajj, you see millions of people. You must think that they are all better than you. And you are the worst of them. يَرَى النَّاسُ كُلَّهُمْ خَيْرًا مِنْهُ وَأَنَّهُ شَرُّهُمْ فِي نَفْسِهِ. It's very difficult, it's easy to say, but it's very difficult, especially if you have some good qualities, if people respect you, if you have knowledge or taqwa or iman. It's very difficult to say everyone is better than me. According to some hadith, there is a kind of instruction. If you follow that instruction, that can help. Whenever you see someone who is older than you should think that this person has worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than me. And if he is younger than you should think that he has committed less sins. And if he looks equal in his age to your age, you should say, I know about my own sins, but I don't know about his sins. So this is one way that it can help. But maybe there can be something more. Although this is very good, practical instruction, but maybe something more. When Imam says, يَرَى النَّاسُ كُلَّهُمْ خَيْرًا مِنْهُ وَأَنَّهُ شَرُّهُمْ فِي نَفْسِهِ, perhaps this means that this person compares himself with what people have but from God. I hope you reflect on what I'm saying. Sometimes we have many good qualities, but these are not ours. These are from God. If you just think about yourself as a person who may be left and forgotten by God, just yourself, what have you got? You've got nothing. I shouldn't say me with all the blessings of Allah that has given me, I am better than someone or not. No. Think of what you yourself possess and what others possess as, of course, gifts of God. This is the main point. Even if you are actually the best person in the town, imagine if there is a alim who is very pious, is the best person in the town, still he should think he is the worst person in the town if he is left to himself. If he is just counting on his own qualities. Any person, no matter how good he is, how pious he is, how close he is to God, if he takes you into account his own achievements, what he has got independent from God, he would find that he is nothing. And everyone, even animals, are better than us. Not only human beings, even animals are better than us if we are left to ourselves. And therefore, Imam says that this is very important. Imam says, يَرَى النَّاسُ كُلَّهُمْ خَيْرًا مِنْهُ أَنَّهُ شَرُّهُمْ فِي نَفْسِهِ وَهُوَ تَمَامُ الْأَمْرِ. تَمَامُ الْأَمْرِ. The last thing that you can achieve is to come to this understanding that if I am independent, if I am disconnected from God, I am nothing. Everyone, even every animal, is better than me. And this is the maximum perfection that you can achieve. When you realize you are nothing, then you are the best. If you really understand this, not as a kind of, just etiquette, as a kind of politeness. If you really come to this understanding, when Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam says, Ma ana wa ma khatari, this is real. When you come to this point that you wonder, what is my significance? What am I doing in this world? Ma ana wa ma khatari. What is my value? If you understand this and you say this really and honestly, then you become the most valuable person. Because the value of us comes from connection to God. And the maximum connection from God is when you evacuate any kind of deity from yourself and you realize that you are nothing. Ya Hisham, innal aqil la yakdhib wa in kana fihi hawa. A person of understanding never tells lies. You don't need to be a religious person. Even if you are intelligent, you don't tell lies. Even if you like, even if your interest is there, even if you are making some maybe profit by telling lies, you don't tell lies. And then Imam continues and reaches this point. Imam says, قال علي بن الحسين عليه السلام. Imam Kazin quotes Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, and he says, مجالسة الصالحين داعية إلى الصلاح. This is very important. To be intelligent is not something you can do it individually. In Islam, you have to have good qualities, but at the same time, be with the people who have good qualities. اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. If you remain alone, you become a prey for shaitan. Shaitan can easily defeat the people who are alone, who are acting as separated individuals. We need to gain power from mu'mineen. And this is why in several places Allah says you have to be with each other. اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Or elsewhere, تواصوا بالصبر. This mutual help is very important. Although Iman and Amal Saleh are important and enough, but to be able to have Iman and Amal Saleh all the time, we need mutual help. We need to meet good people. If you go to any part of the world, you have always to look first for good people to associate with. Maybe one family, maybe there are two families, but it's better than remaining alone. Always try to find good people and spend your time with them and form a small community. Maybe it's small, but it's much better than remaining alone. So if you attend the sessions and meetings of the righteous people, this by itself encourages you to become a righteous person. Mujalasatu salihin da'iyatun ila salah. This by itself invites you to be righteous. This is in addition to everything that you can learn. This is in addition to that, because you can learn also by reading. Just meeting and spending time together face to face, this by itself has a great power. وَآدَابُ الْعُلَمَاءِ زِيَادَةٌ فِي الْعَقْلِ. And if you spend time with ulama and you learn from the etiquette and the manners of ulama, and when you realize that how things which are important for normal people are disregarded by ulama, then inshallah you yourself learn how to become like ulama and get rid of all the superstitious ideas, all the superficial understandings, all the bad customs. And then Imam says, وَطَاعَةُ وُلَاةِ الْعَدْلِ تَمَامُ الْعِزِّ. If there is a person who is just, an imam, a ruler, a governor, a leader, who is just, if you obey him, this is adding to your honor. If you obey Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, this adds to your honor. If you obey your just alim, just leader, just marja, this adds to your honor. Don't think that by obeying a person you would lose your honor. If you don't obey just people, then you will be forced to serve unjust people. This is something that happens all the time. You know, the story, that person who refused to pay allegiance to Imam Ali alayhi salam, and then he was forced to pay allegiance to Hajjaj, but when he raised his hand to pay allegiance to Hajjaj, Hajjaj stretched his leg and said, no, pay bay'ah to my leg. If you don't pay bay'ah to Ali, then you have to pay bay'ah to Hajjaj. So if someone has established justice as a quality, so he is at the service of God, he is at the service of truth. And to obey him would add our honor and dignity. And then Imam says, وَاسْتِثْمَارُ الْمَالِ تَمَامُ الْمُرُوءَةِ. If you want to have maximum level of respect in the society, if you want to be considered as a nice member of the society, you have to use your money and help people. Because unless people see that you have no hesitation in spending from your money on their needs, they will not really respect you. They will not really realize that you love them and you care for them. You know, this is the nature of human beings, that when you say to them, we love you, you have to give them something. Just loving without giving is not enough. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. Allah gives you something, then you will be happy with him. If Allah doesn't give us something, we start complaining. The same is with people. When you give people, they will be happy. If you don't give people and just teach them, my money is for me, but I share with you my knowledge, this is not working. I have to give them money, and then I can preach. I can do my tabligh. But if they see that I don't bother about their financial situation, then they don't listen. وَإِرْشَادُ الْمُسْتَشِيرِ قَضَاءٌ لَحَقِّ النِّعْمَةِ. If someone asks for guidance, if someone says, I have a question, I need advice, please, help me in finding out the best way to solve this problem. As a person who has been blessed by Allah by being given knowledge, you have to be thankful to Allah by helping such people. This is the right of Allah that has given you knowledge, has given you wisdom, has given you some experiences. When people come to you, you should share your knowledge with them. وَكَفُّ الْأَذَى مِنْ كَمَالِ الْعَقْلِ. One of the signs of being complete in your understanding is not to annoy anyone. If I annoy people, whether they are familiar to me or not, my aql is not completed. Why should I annoy people? We as a human being are not created by Allah to annoy people. We are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give comfort to people. Human beings by nature must give comfort and receive comfort from each other. We are not wild animals. We must not be worried about other human beings attacking me. This is not a human being. A human being, the very first thing that offers to another human being is peace and comfort. It's uns that we have to offer each other. And this is very much connected to the Islamic understanding of peace. And this peace is not just peace between two physical objects, that they don't hit each other physically, even mentally, even spiritually, we must not hit each other. Sometimes I don't harm you physically, but I say something that breaks your heart. I tell you something that for days and nights make you worried. This is also bad. So to annoy is not just to injure someone or to kill someone. To annoy is to do anything that would damage the peace of mind and heart of that person or damage his health. وَفِيهِ رَاحَةُ الْبَدَنِ عَاجِلًا وَآجِلًا. And if we avoid annoying each other, then in this world and the hereafter we would have our own health, our own peace, and we would not suffer in our own body in this world and the hereafter.